Infinite versions of you exist right here and now. Infinite timelines, infinite parallel realities. Whatever you can imagine yourself living, it's happening now. And it's easier than you think to shift into this new identity, a whole new timeline, a whole new story, a whole new movie for your life. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Juliet Cleary. I'm a manifestation coach helping you to quantum jump into your highest timeline. If you resonate with this message, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap that bell icon. If you would like to apply to work one-on-one together, is all in the description box below for you, as well as my free guide and my meditation journal. All right, let's waste no time here. Let's get straight to it. So, there are infinite versions of you right now. And if you close your eyes right now, if you can, whatever it is that you're really wanting to live, experience, I want you to kind of picture that in your mind as there's this frame, there's this other reality where there's another version of you who is already living that. It's already here. That version of you is already here. Okay, so as you open your eyes, how do we activate that? How do we choose that timeline and make sure that we're anchoring that in, that we're actually staying along that timeline so that the things on that timeline manifest? Firstly, ask yourself this question, and ask yourself this question multiple times a day if you want to, or at least once a day, right? But ask yourself this consistently. What makes me feel like I'm already that person? Of course, first, it really helps to define exactly what that reality is. Get specific, get detailed. We're not getting insistent on that it has to be exactly that way. Let's leave it open to if it can be even better than that. But getting specific and getting detailed helps you to tap into it better, helps you to create the state of being that is required for you to be on that timeline. Okay? And for you to actually embody this, for you to start being that person, well, you have to kind of know who that person is to some degree. How are they different to you? What choices are they making that are different to what choices you're making in thought, word, and deed and feeling? So instead of thinking like, what should I be doing? And am I doing it right? How should I be doing this? Am I there? Have I shifted? Is it working? Really put yourself in the seat of the queen or the king, right? Put yourself in the place of power and step up into that role and say, okay, what would make me feel like I'm already that person? And you can ask yourself this in different moments of your day to get clear on if you're actually aligning with being that person now. Like, does this thought or does this reaction or does this choice or does this habit make me feel like I am that person? Or is that just me defaulting to the old self and I don't actually prefer to be this way or feel this way or do this thing? Oh, if I changed my clothes, like if I wore the clothes that she wears, I would feel a little bit more that way. Oh, if I took some of the actions that she takes, you know what? I actually would feel differently. I would. Oh, I know that if I stopped hanging out with these people, that I would actually feel a lot happier. And that version of me is pretty damn happy. And so whenever or you can phrase it differently, you can say, okay, if I am that person, and I am, then what will I choose in this situation? What do I now choose? How would I now react? How would I now act? I have decided I am this person. I have decided that this is my life. Okay, then what's the best feeling choice that's in alignment with that right now? Then act on it. So here's the big piece that I wanted to make this video about. So many of us are saying, yeah, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy. I'm believing, I'm knowing, I'm deciding, I'm choosing that I'm worthy. You will know if you really believe that, if you've really actually decided that, if you start to act in ways that show you believe that. For example, if you're saying, I'm worthy, I am so worthy, I know my worth, but you're chasing after someone, trying to get someone to like you, does that show that you know that you're worthy? No. Even if you're saying, yes, I'm worthy, I'm so worthy, and I'm so deserving and powerful, but you're struggling to accept compliments from people, or you're keeping your prices in your business really low because, you just want to, help everyone. You don't want to ask for too much, right? So look at your actions. Like maybe when you're out and about, you got your head down, you're kind of like hunched over or something. It's looking at how am I acting and behaving, because that shows me what I actually believe is true about myself. So most people are saying, yes, I know it's done. It's done, it's mine. But then in the next moment, they are acting and behaving in ways that show that they do not believe that. They're reacting. They're saying, oh my God, like this means that it's not going to happen. But if you know it's done, then why would you react so drastically, so negatively? If you know it's done, then why would you go like an hour later scrolling through YouTube and TikTok, watching endless videos on how to make it happen? Now, of course, take aligned action. It's really important that you act on it, but notice what actions you're actually taking automatically, because it'll show you that you still have maybe the old belief system in place and you haven't really decided you're this new person. You haven't actually stepped up into it. And so being aware of this is the first step. Noticing when you are acting and behaving in ways in your life that show you that you actually don't believe in what you're saying. You're saying, I'm this new person, I'm in this new timeline, but you are not acting in any way, shape, or form that would show you that you believe that, then you know you don't believe that. You know you haven't actually decided to move forward, decided to shift, decided to actually change. Whenever you decide that you're actually willing and ready to change or shift, you do it instantly. You just change. You just shift. You find the right person, the right coach, the right process, the right book, and you change instantly. How you actually stay on that timeline is by embodying those choices. You've just said, okay, this is my new decision, my new choice, my new assumption, my new belief, right? You must now embody that. Now, I always say that visualizing this first, or as you're falling asleep or you're in meditation, if you practice these kinds of beliefs or that kind of reality where you believe that, it starts to change your brain to make this easier for you to act in those ways as if those, you believe those things. You start to actually believe it, right? But I think the best way to do this is to go from like doing it like that behind the scenes and then also activating it, like jumping into the picture, jumping into the frame, jumping into the movie and starting to live it, right? Because then you're actually saying, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to shift, I'm willing to move forward, I'm actually ready because I'm doing it. I don't even need anything I'm not waiting for anything, I'm doing it now, and I'm doing it not from this place of I'm trying to make it happen. I'm doing it because it's who I am. It's who I've chosen to be. This is what's true for me, so I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna live it, I'm gonna be it, I'm gonna feel it. I'm going to take the action. So you have to start embodying these things, right? What does it mean when people say to embody the end state, to embody your new timeline? It means that you act and behave in accordance with that. You continue to choose thoughts, emotions, and actions that are in alignment with this timeline. And you continue to choose those more often, more consistently. You're already doing this, but with reality or timelines that you don't actually prefer, that you don't actually want to be living anymore, even if it's really great, but you want to step up, right? It feels uncomfortable to not expand and step up into something new and more, right? It's natural to who you are. And so when we hold back and we don't allow that natural process, it feels very uncomfortable. So when you start to actually just jump in and start acting and behaving and making choices in ways that back up this new decision, this new belief, this new choice, whatever it is, this new timeline, you keep yourself on that desired timeline. You allow it to unfold. You allow yourself to experience it. If you continue to choose in that direction, like what is a choice right here and now, with this situation or this moment that actually keeps me on that timeline, that's in alignment with that version of me. Like, let's play this like a fun freaking game. Not something that I'm like, oh no, I have to do things. It's like, hey, you're excited when you decided to come here to Earth to play. That's what you need to remember. You are here to play, so play. Play more. God, I got that message so much for me and for the collective. Play more, play more. Have more fun. I feel like my higher self was like shaking me, and all of us, just like, have more fun. Because that's who you are, and that's what's key. To treat this all like a fun game. If you're seeing it as something like, oh, I'm fixing something, then you're not even being that new person. You're still in the old identity trying to change. So you're just consistently choosing what's in alignment with this new timeline, this new version of me, which is why I say it's so important to get clear on what that reality is. Don't be afraid to go there. What's different and who are you? What is this version of you? They all exist. Infinite versions of you exist. They all exist. Which one? Which one are you right now? Which one do you want to be? You can only be it now. You can't be it later. Continue to choose more of the time in the direction of this new timeline. What aligns? What choice right now aligns with this person that I say I am? You embody it. You take the actions. Like, for example, if you're saying, I'm worthy, I am super worthy and deserving, then if you're in a toxic work environment, you will leave. There will be things that you will no longer tolerate. You will place stronger boundaries for yourself. You will no longer tolerate less or, have or do less than what you actually truly desire. You will, not in an angry way, but you stand up for yourself. You don't talk ill about yourself. You don't criticize yourself as much. And you certainly don't allow others to, right? You just walk away from things that don't serve you. And if, even in your work, your job, your career, your business, you're not trying to achieve things to try and feel worthy. You're not trying to, put out offers or create products or anything to try and be the worthy person, because that's you in the old self. It's already being worthy and pricing your offers at what you know you're worth. Starting the business that you know you're worthy of and just jumping in and doing it your way. You've chosen your most abundant timeline. Then when you go to purchase foods at the grocery store, you don't look at pricing of I could buy, I really want this. I really want the organic foods. I just really, really want that. But they're a few dollars extra, so I'll just get the thing that I don't really want. You're purchasing things based on what you're worthy of. You're not putting yourself into debt or anything like that. But there are these little choices. And when you start to make decisions that this new you would make, they would prioritize their health. They would prioritize choosing to buy things or to get things that actually benefit them, that resonate with them, and they're choosing what they're worth, not what's a good deal. Again, if you've chosen this really abundant timeline, then when you go to look at your bills and you see money come out and you start to react really negative and panic and worry and what am I going to do? Well, we need to switch that. Because what would the abundant person do? They would just feel gratitude for whatever bill they're paying, whatever service they're receiving, how that money is serving the families of those people who are receiving some of that money, what it allows you to have in your life, the luxuries that it allows you to have, even if you're in a really good position money-wise, but you're wanting like much more, and you notice that you just kind of focus on still trying to limit yourself, still not really feeling good when the money goes out. And it's switching that to what is, like, if I'm the abundant person, how am I going to react in this situation? What thoughts am I going to choose? What actions am I going to take? If I'm choosing the timeline where I'm such a successful business person, like you want to be really, really great at business, really like innovative, coming up with all these, maybe you want to have multiple businesses or whatever, then start to be that person. Does that person sit there and not try anything? No. Every successful person has failed, right? You don't really fail, but failed. And often a lot of times because you actually have to do things to figure out what you do want and what you don't want, what does work for you, what doesn't work for you, what you want more of, what you want less of, right? You actually have to do something, right? If you want to be that kind of person, you got to be that kind of person. You got to actually start to take action. If you're saying, I want to be the really healthy and happy person, well then in this moment, the healthy person is healthy because they focus on their happiness. They keep themselves in balance. They do what resonates with them. They live more in alignment. They make really good feeling choices that keep them in homeostasis, in a place of calm. They're more relaxed. They're more chilled out. But go beyond that. What does the healthy person do in their life that you can actually start doing right now? How does that healthy person, how are they different to you? And in this moment, what is a choice that I can make, whether it's in thought, word, deed, feeling, reaction, that is in alignment with this new timeline? And continue to choose in that direction. Just continue to ask yourself that question and act on it. You have to follow through. You have to act on this. And you're making these switches between timelines all the time. You know, you're switching, shifting between, billions of parallel realities every second, is what Bashar says. Yeah. So I think of it like, in this moment right now, if I'm worried about money, or I'm worried about, I'm just not hitting my money goal. Like I've got some money, but I want to hit that big money goal. And I'm focused on, I'm not hitting that goal. I'm the person who is aligned with not hitting that goal, who has the same results that I've had, who, like, that's the timeline I've now chosen in this moment. If in the next 30 seconds, seriously, the next 30 seconds, I do some, I find some better feeling thoughts and I kind of shift myself. I go, okay, what does it actually feel like to hit that money goal normally? Every single month. Minimum. That's my minimum. And it's automatic. I'm not even trying to make it happen. It's automatic. And I just shift into that. I have just shifted into that timeline. So if I think the wealthy person's thought, I'm the wealthy person in the moment. Don't be fooled. But the bank account hasn't changed yet, right? Instantly in the moment. Sometimes it can happen that way, to some degree. But don't be it's your dominant. It's what you're choosing more of the time in these little daily choices that oftentimes you don't even realize you're choosing. You don't even realize that you're focused there, that you're making them, right? In whatever moment you're choosing the thought, action, or feeling of whatever person, you shift to that timeline. So it's just being a little bit more playful with it, like a fun game. I want to master this game. That's really what you're here to do, is play the game, and in a sense, clock the game, master the game for fun and expansion. You want to do it a little bit more intentionally, right? You want to be aware of what's going on, and you want to start to do something a little bit differently so you can switch timelines and keep yourself on this new timeline, because you keep making choices that are in alignment with that version of you. And if you haven't seen my videos before, you shift instantly. Your change and your shifts don't happen over time, Manifestations can show up after a little bit of time, or one after the other, like in a beautiful flow. But you shift to a parallel reality instantly because, like I said, you're doing it every second anyway. But even when you do it intentionally, and when you're making a different choice than you normally would choose, you shift to a new timeline, a vastly different timeline instantly. You shift your identity instantly. It's not like you're still trying to be that person. Right now I'm being that person. Okay, the next minute I'm being the old person, right? Then, an hour later I'm being the new person again. And it's just these little choices that you're making that all kind of add up. And they create a compound effect over time. But whoever you're being, whatever you're choosing more of the time, you experience that timeline and act in accordance, in harmony with your chosen timeline. Be very intentional with it. You can even be very, delusional about it, in really believing it's already happened and just seeing things around you in a completely different way, like a child, like really using your imagination, even with your eyes open, playing make believe, but really starting to believe the story that you're telling. Everything's a story. Everything's a story. One's not more real than the other. You just really believe in the story you've been telling, you've been make-believing, and you just start to live that. And you don't even realize you're living out a story and that you can switch and tell a different one and therefore live that timeline, live out that story. Whatever you've been doing on default in the other direction of what you don't prefer, do it in the direction of what you do prefer. Make believe over here, the new timeline, the new reality, this desired ideal version of you, and act on it, embody it, activate it. All right, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you had any breakthroughs or realizations, put them in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe, share this video, and if you would like to work together, that information's in the description box below for you. Have an amazing day. I'll see you next time.